Millennials. What are you going to do with them? Happy hobby. My name's David Ganas. If you are a sports card collector and you're working with a limited budget, make sure you subscribe to this series because that's what we talk about. That's what we do here. We do box breaks and graded card reveals, but we do tips and we do lists like today. This is the Dandy Dozen wish list. This is a series that I do for baseball, football, and basketball. So far, it's only been baseball. I did the vintage cards, which were cards before 1972. I did the modern cards, which were cards from 1972 to 2000. And today, we're doing the Millennials. All the cards from 2000 to now. Who are the 12 most collectible players from that era? Now, in some cases, the rookie card might be before the era we're talking about. But we're talking about the player in general. The course of his career is mostly in the era we're talking about. Today, it's Millennials, post-2000. And again, we're talking about collectible players. We're not saying specific cards. This card is definitely the most expensive. We'll put some up for reference here. But for the most part, this is just talking about the player themselves. If you get cards of these players, these are generally going to hold pretty good value going forward. So first on the list, it's kind of obvious. I mean, a 2011 rookie, Mike Trout. This guy, a monster. He's still active. He's still going at it. He's still crushing it. Just 31 years old, and really, he's got a lot ahead of him, even though he's been dealing with some injuries, and he's slowed down quite a bit at this point. But he's a 10-time All-Star, a 3-time MVP. He's a first ballot Hall of Famer, so this guy would have been a Hall of Fame a couple years ago, to be honest with you. But it would have been nice to see him get some playoff success, get into the World Series maybe. That would have been nice. Either way, an ultra collectible player. There are a few players that when you open up a pack and you get one of their cards, even though they're not rookie cards, you're like, ooh, cool. Like Mike Trout in baseball. In basketball, it's LeBron James. In football, maybe it's Patrick Mahomes. But Tom Brady in football, that's the one. But there's always that one guy where you're like, ooh, even though it's not a rookie, it's still pretty sweet. Number 2 on the list, Albert Pujols, of course, the machine. This guy's got 3,000 hits. Now he's got over 700 home runs. He's the second player ever to do that, along with your boy Hammer and Hank Aaron. And both of them, it's interesting, both of them did it while never hitting 50 home runs in a season. That's pretty cool. Number 3, my guy, Ichiro, 28 seasons in professional baseball. 19 of those seasons were in the major leagues starting. He has a 2001 rookie card. That is not an expensive card. You can find that for about $40 maybe, but it's a pretty good card. That's a pretty nice one to collect. But beware because it does brick and it does kind of chip, so you got to be careful in the condition of that one. But Ichiro, he's super collectible on 2 different continents in 2 different cultures. He's definitely one of the most collectible players in the past 20 years. Number 4, another guy from the previous decade, Bryce Harper. This guy is a 2-time MVP, a 7-time All-Star, and he's going to begin next season at just 30 years old. He has a lot of baseball left in him. Number 5, Shohei Ohtani. Show me the money, Shohei. Okay, this guy's changed baseball. He's a hitter and a pitcher. He's changed fantasy baseball. All the fantasy baseball companies had to come up with what they were going to do with people that drafted Shohei Ohtani. Were they going to be able to get both of his stats in hitting and pitching? Were they going to be able to get just one? Could one team draft Shohei the pitcher and one team draft Shohei the hitter? They all figured out their own ways. It's interesting, though, that Shohei Ohtani has changed multiple industries, including the card collecting hobby. The fact that there's cards with him pitching and there's cards with him hitting. But it's the same player. There's multiple cards with him doing different. It's crazy. It's crazy to me. I love Shohei Ohtani. I think he's going to be top 5 collectible player from the past 20 years. But also, looking forward, I think years from now, we're going to look back and be like, how did Shohei Ohtani not win MVP for every year that he wasn't injured? It's pretty crazy. Number 6, we're going to Clayton Kershaw. This guy's a 9-time All-Star, a 3-time Cy Young winner, and a 1-time MVP. The only thing that Clayton Kershaw needs to work on is his nickname. The Claw? Come on. You got to do better than that. Number 7, go to the Soto Shuffle. Now I'm shuffling on over to the San Diego Padres. This guy is a 2-time All-Star already. He's a batting champion. He's a World Series champion. And in 2023 season coming up, he's just going to be in his age 24 season. That's impressive. He has a lot of breakout years that most players would have. The breakout years coming. He's already had the breakout years. Now it's just going to be getting better. Number 8, Miguel Cabrera. This is a 3,000 hit club member. He's a Triple Crown winner, World Series champion, 12-time All-Star, 2-time MVP, 4-time batting champion. The only problem really is that he's a DH first baseman. Like, they don't get a lot of love in the hobby for whatever reason. He spent his early days, some in the outfield and some at third base. Let's give him a break. He's super collectible. Top 10. Number 9, we're going to Mookie Betts with his Boston Red Sox cards. Obviously, now is the Dodgers. Those are collectible as well. All of those cards are collectible. Mookie Betts, though, it's interesting. When you look at all of the active players, only Mike Trout is the only one to have a higher WAR, wins again above replacement, than Mookie Betts at the age 29 season. Mike Trout is the only player that has had a higher WAR at that age among active players. Now, when you look at the course of all players, Mookie Betts has the 9th best WAR since 1969 of all players. Number 10, we go back to another pitcher. We already had Clayton Kershaw. Shohei Ohtani doesn't count as a pitcher on my list. He's like a half pitcher. He's a unicorn. But number 10, Justin Verlander. Again, this is a 9-time All-Star, 2-time Cy Young winner, a former MVP winner. 3 times he threw no-hitters. And he's a World Series champ. Verlander definitely gets a call for my top 12. My dandy doesn't. Number 11, I'm going with Ronald Acuna Jr. here. Now, granted, he lost the season because of a knee injury, but he's a member of the 30-30 club. He's a 3-time All-Star. He has a great forecast. He's a great player, and he's on a great team. Things are looking up for Ronald Acuna Jr., and I think for the hobby as well. And number 12, this was kind of controversial, a little borderline here. I'm going with Aaron Judge. There's some other pitchers I was considering, but I'm going with Aaron Judge. He's the new American League home run single season champion. I'm giving him the nod. He's going to be super collectible for years to come. He's a Yankees slugger, at least for right now. He's a Yankee slugger. Who knows what the future holds for him, but I think that's going to be a thing that's going to keep him collectible for many years to come. Now we'll go through some guys that just missed this list. Guys like David Ortiz, a couple pitchers, Max Scherzer and Zach Greinke, 2 guys who really do. They have great credentials. I just couldn't fit them in the list. Pitchers, as you know, are not as collectible. So to take up 3 or 4 spots in the top 12, I just couldn't do it. Other great hitters like Nolan Arenado, Paul Goldschmidt, Vlad Guerrero Sr. and Jr. We'll see about Jr. He might creep into this list. Joey Votto, another great hitter. Jim Thome, Giancarlo Stanton, Freddie Freeman, Jacob deGrom, another pitcher. If not for injuries, I think he would have been in this list. Actually, his rookie year was 2014, so he still has some time. He can still make it up, but I think injuries are going to keep him down over the next few years. A couple catchers that didn't make the list, Joe Mauer and Buster Posey. Catchers aren't super collectible. Those 2 guys, though, they're very good. They're excellent collectors. If you collect catchers, those are 2 you have to have. But for this list, they did not make the top 12. So you let me know. Who did I mess up on? Was there someone I missed? Even in the just missed category, was there someone I missed? Who do you think should swap in among the Dandy Dozen and swap out? Let me know in the comments below. And stay tuned for I'm going to be doing the football next, Football Dandy Dozen for vintage, modern, and of course the millennials in that as well. And then following that, I'll do basketball. Whatever you do, make sure you have a happy hobby.